Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 11 of What If Naruto was from the two greatest clans. Remember to get this one to 200 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto was a badass genius, and enjoy that guys. And I'm also going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was a deceitful god over an Anime King 2. So stay tuned for that, and I hope you guys enjoy. And later on I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was a god amongst man over an Anime King 2. So stay tuned for that as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last spot we left off, Naruto was furious. After his battle with Orochimaru, he didn't understand what this rage, this held up rage was inside of him for losing and not being able to protect his friends. As the Cloud Ninjas arrived, as they saw the wooden dome that Naruto was in, as they were surprised but they didn't comment on it, as Karu wanted to attack Naruto. She rushed at Naruto, but to her surprise, he grabbed her sword in his hand covered in chakra, as he snapped it. As Samui, Amoy, and Yujito saw the amount of chakra, they could feel that he was pumping into his fist. As he released a strike, Yujito had to envelop her hand in the Bijuu's chakra as she stopped his fist, but even then it was powerful. As the battle started, as Naruto quickly subdued Karu, he was about to go over there and finish her as he extended chains to pull her towards him, but Amoy appeared in the center. But Naruto looked him into the eyes as Amoy found himself in a genjutsu as he passed out. As Naruto started his battle with Yujito and Samui, the both of them trying their best as they realized he was crazy strong. But then a presence was filled in the area. As Naruto turned to see Samantha and Sasuke, the both of them had dark purple glows resonating off of them. As Naruto realized this was something that the snake did to them, he didn't want them to be conflicted by this, so he jumped in the way. As the both of them told him to get out of the way as they started to attack him. The power, the corruption was taking over them, but Naruto did not fight them back as he told them he will not fight back. As he grabbed the both of them tight, taking their punches. After a second or two of this, they snapped out of that as the curse mark receded back into their body. As Samantha was at tears apologizing to Naruto, as Sasuke couldn't understand the rage, that power he felt a minute ago. A thought came to Samantha and Sasuke's mind, that power, they could use it to get revenge on him. They were talking about Itachi. When Naruto turned around, the other group was gone, so they decided to head to the tower. As Naruto informed his father about everything that happened, his mother was there as well. As Naruto was getting angry for no reason, just talking about Orochimaru. As he sent chakra to his eyes, as Minato and the others were shocked to see Naruto's eyes. They had a swirling vortex in them, a unique Mangekyou Sharingan. As Minato asked when this happened, as Naruto remembered the hate, the anger, the rage he felt in Orochimaru, attack and hurt them. As Naruto awakened his Mangekyou Sharingan, they talked for a bit, as Kakashi went off the other two to seal the curse mark on their neck. Time then passed, as it was time for Chunin exams, as Karu and the others were still pissed, well, mostly Karu mostly, as Sasuke was the first one to battle, as Amoy didn't really want to fight, as he was placed under a genjutsu, but he broke out of it, but just in time Sasuke delivered a lion combo barrage, as Amoy could have gotten up and fight more, but he heard Karu curse at him, so he acted like he was out for the count, as he was taken to the infirmary. The next match after that was Samantha versus Karu, as Karu smiled as she can at least beat up on one of his friends. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. Naruto was looking down in the arena as Samantha was a distance away from Karu. Both of them looking at each other as Karu clenched her fist as she had a smile on his face. She then looked back up to the stands as she looked at Naruto with an angry scowl. She then turned back to Samantha. "I'm gonna make sure this hurts," she said. As Samantha sighed, "You're still stuck up on that? You know it was an accident what he did to you, right? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna make him pay. And hurting you seemed to be the best way, seeing that he really cared about his friends," she said. "And when I get my hands on that pansy little asshole," she said. But Samantha spoke, cutting her off. "Don't insult him. He told you that he was sorry, but it seems like you're just a naive, stupid child who is stuck on one thing. He apologized a long time ago, and it doesn't matter now," said Samantha. "And I would watch your tone if I were you." Karu stepped forward. "And what exactly are you going to do about it?" Samantha looked at the proctor. The proctor looked at the both of them as he told him to begin. As he flashed away, the both of them thrust forward in an instant, Karu pulling out a different sword. Lucky she brought a backup, as Samantha brought to the kunai as the both of them clashed in the center. Meanwhile, up with the spectators, Naruto was watching the match as he wanted Samantha to kick this girl's ass. From that little mistake he made, it's like she just hell-bent on killing him. Just from a little mistake. Can't Kumo ninjas learn to forgive and forget? Her chest wasn't even that big to say that he grabbed really anything good. And yet, after many apologies, she's still trying to kill him. Naruto then felt two arms wrapped around his midsection as he smiled, already knowing who it was. As he then turned to face the person, released the Halt. "Hello, Haku," Naruto said, as Haku smiled at him. Behind Haku was Kushina. "Mom," Naruto said. As Kushina smiled, "You thought we were going to miss your match?" "Yeah," Haku said. "We want to see you kick some ass out there." As Naruto smiled at the both of them. "Well, Samantha is currently dealing with that girl." "Wait, you mean the girl with the incident?" asked Kushina. "Yeah, that's her," said Naruto, as Kushina looked down, as Naruto had told him about his interaction with the Cloud Ninjas. After explaining that it was a mistake but this girl was hell-bent on killing him. Kushina also hated the Cloud Ninjas because they were behind the attack where she lost control and nearly hurt Minato back then. "I hope Samantha kicks her ass," said Haku as she watched. Back in the arena, both Samantha and Karu jumped away as Samantha flipped through hand sign as she released a large fire dragon that sheared through the sky, rushing towards Karu. Karu smirked. Meanwhile, up in the stands, Yujito smirked to herself. It seems they don't know enough. As Karu then leaped forward straight towards the dragon, she went through a couple one-handed hand sign as she placed her sword in front of her, and the dragon got absorbed into the sword. As Samantha looked, "What?" she said. "What did you just do? And why would I tell you that?" said Karu. As she then thrust her sword forward, the fire dragon erupting from it, but it was a lot stronger. As Samantha jumped back and went through hand sign, Earth style, "Mud wall," she said, as a mud wall came out as the fire dragon smashed into it. As Samantha could feel the heat from the other side, the mud wall then went back down. "It seems that you're far advanced in fire." "It doesn't matter," said Samantha, "because I won't lose here." "Well, we're gonna see about that." As Karu dashed forwards, the both of them met in the center again, changing blows and parrying each other attacks with kunais and their sword, until Samantha got the foot in, as she slammed her feet right into Karu's chest, knocking her back with so much force. As Karu skated off the ground and came to a stop, she stabbed her sword into the ground as she went through hand sign, lightning style. "Lightning streak," she said, as she placed her hand on the ground. A volt of electricity traveled just off the ground at an intense rate, aiming for Samantha's feet. Samantha quickly leaped up in the air, but the moment she did, she took her eyes off of Karu. Karu was above her in seconds, as she was bringing her sword down, ready to behead Samantha. As the both of them were looking directly at each other, until Samantha's eyes activated her Sharingan. Karu cursed her luck as she closed her eyes, not wanting to be trapped in a genjutsu, but that was the worst mistake. As Samantha delivered a powerful punch in her gut that knocked the wind out of her, Samantha then pushed herself above her and delivered a drop kick in her back. as Nadia has been teaching her to focus her chakra on one point. As Karu hit the ground, a boom! Samantha then pushed her chakra up to her fist as she came down like a rocket as a loud boom went off in the arena as everyone watched. Smoke and dust and debris filled the area. I think that got her, said Haku. That was the only response she got from Naruto. When the dust and the smoke and everything clear, you could see Samantha jumping away as she landed, a few scratches on her body here and there, as electricity was sparking every now and then, causing her pain. Karu got off the ground slowly with a smirk on her face. You never thought I would do that, huh? As small voltage of electricity was around Karu, but they quickly vanished as she fell to her knees. That took a lot out of her, as she created a dome of electricity around her body on the moment of impact as Samantha got caught in it. But Samantha grunted as she got back to her feet fully. It doesn't matter what you did. I already told you I won't lose. Samantha dashed forward as Karu picked up herself as the both of them started their onslaught in the ring. As Samantha was quickly getting past Karu's defense until Samantha landed a devastating blow in her stomach, then delivered up with a spinning kick that sent her flying back. She hit the wall with great force. Samantha appeared in front of her and grabbed her by the throat. Apologize for what you said about Naruto, she said, and maybe I won't hurt you. As Karu scoffed, as she aimed to spit at Samantha, but Samantha tilted her body. Never, she said. You and that rotten twit can rot in hell for all I... But she couldn't get to finish that sentence, as Samantha drove her fist into her face that left a dent in the wall by the back of Karu's head. The proctor then watched as Samantha step back as Karu fall down as she was knocked unconscious. He then walked over as he declared Samantha the winner as the Konoha ninja were cheering. Yujito said, I guess she's stronger than I thought. What do you think, Samui? Karu is too angry. She cannot think wisely and handle the situation. Yeah, you're probably right. You know she's still angry at that guy for the mistake that happened. She should probably let it go. But it doesn't matter, we are her friends. If she's angry at him, then we should be angry at him as well and stay by her side. When Samui didn't say anything, Yujito spoke again. Don't you agree with me? We are from the same village, Samui said. Of course I do, she said. Why would I agree with these Konoha ninjas over you? Oh, just checking. See, sometimes you don't really respond. It's because I'm thinking, Samui said. As Samantha was then brought up. Good work, sister, said Sasuke, as she smiled at her brother. As she didn't want to go to the infirmary, she wanted to see the next fights. And besides, she wasn't that badly wounded, as Karu was taken away. He's right, you did a wonderful job, Haku said. Oh, Haku, you're here, Samantha said as both of them shared a hug. She's right, you know, said Kushina. Kushina, Samantha said. But she then looked over at Naruto as he didn't compliment her or say anything. He wasn't paying attention to any of them, as he was looking down. Hey, Naruto, you alright? Oh, Samantha. Nice job out there, Naruto said. He then turned his attention back to downstairs. What are you looking at, asked Sasuke. Oh, nothing, Naruto said. After the arena got fixed up, the names then flashed to the board again, as Hinata Hyuga versus Neji Hyuga came up. As Naruto had a smile on his face, Hinata has been improving a lot lately, and seen that her father has been taking her as a strict clan heiress. He has been training her a lot lately. Hinata was happy for that for one reason. Her sister could be safe, and besides soon she will be strong enough to change Uchiha's way. But she had doubts right now. Her father told her to not lose to Neji. As he has been training her, she has gotten stronger, and if he comes up to it, she should use a barricade seal to incapacitate him and win the match. But she didn't want to do that, as she know that things have just gotten a lot dangerous with her and Neji. Ever since her father started paying more attention to her, Neji seemed to just resent and hate her even more. She wanted to change that one day, but it doesn't look like that day will come anytime soon for now. As Samantha cheered her on as Hinata went down to the stage, as Naruto and the others also clapped. You can do this, Hinata, Sakura loud voice screeched all over the area, as Hinata blushed in embarrassment. Neji slowly made his way down there, as the proctor asked both of them if they're ready. The both of them nodded, as he then flashed away. Hinata, Neji said. Yes, Neji, she said in a polite tone. What is the point of you doing this? Huh? She said to him. You know, there is no point of you standing down here, getting hurt. This is already your fate to lose to me. So it's best if you just give up now and leave. Your fate has already been chosen to lose to me today. I can't do that, said Hinata. Neji scoffed. Just because you think you have gotten a little stronger, you think you can actually win this. Hinata looked up as she saw Samantha and Naruto. She smiled. That's not the reason. The reason is, I have people behind me, friends that have helped me get so strong over the years. I can't just abandon them by giving up without a fight. I have already chosen to fight you now, and I won't give up that easily, she said. That just got Neji more angrier, as he clenched his fist rather tight as he stepped forward with an ominous glare looking at her. It doesn't matter what you say, your fate have already been chosen. Hinata got into a fighting pose. Well then, she said, let's see if I can change that fate. Neji, without saying anything else, dashed towards her as the both of them started to strike at each other. Palm strikes, connecting with each other. Neji started to get even more furious as he saw that she was blocking all of his strikes. Whoa, Hinata has gotten stronger, said Samantha. She has, Naruto said, as he had a grimace look on his face. Hey, what's wrong, Sasuke asked. It's that guy Neji, Naruto says. He clenched his fist. He hates Hinata. You already know that, Naruto said, Samantha. No, it's not that, Naruto said. I don't like the amount of hate he has for her. I'm afraid he's gonna do something. I'm afraid he's gonna snap. But he won't take it that far. She's his cousin after all, even if he does hate her. As Naruto did not say anything else, down in the arena, Neji jumped back as he huffed slightly, as he glared at Hinata was huffing as well. How is this possible, he said, cursing, as she was able to block all of his strikes. Hinata, I am warning you now, give up, before I really start things going. I already told you, Neji, I can't do that. You stupid girl, he said, as he dashed forward with incredible speed. As Naruto noticed Neji was not holding back anymore, as Hinata was parrying his strikes, but she was getting pushed back until Neji got the upper hand, as he slammed the hand in her shoulder. That caught her off guard, knocking her back a bit. He then delivered that with multiple strikes to her chest. That sent her flying back into the wall, as everyone gasped when they saw the brutal way that he hit Hinata. So much force she hit the wall with. But Hinata pulled herself out as she picked herself up. Neji then dashed forward. Hinata leaped over him as she landed on the ground, but Neji twisted his body around and flipped over towards her. As he came out of the air with a palm strike, Hinata parried the strike, but Neji ducked under her own as he struck her in the stomach, as that knocked the wind out of her. He then brought up his hand and smacked her away as Hinata rolled on the ground. He then leaped forward, attempting to step on her, but she rolled out of the way. Hinata got back to her feet, but Neji was already gone. She was then delivered a powerful strike in the back that sent her flying on the ground face first. As she slowly picked up herself, as she pulled the kunai and threw it towards him, as Neji saw the kunai coming towards him ready to block it. But Hinata then dashed forward as well. He smirked, blocking the kunai, as he saw her pull out multiple other kunais as he threw them all towards him, as Neji blocked all of them. This is pointless, he said after Hinata stopped throwing them. Your fate is to lose here to me. Give up, he said to her. I will not, Hinata said. Then you have chosen your fate, he said. He leapt forward again as Hinata started to parry strikes, but she was getting slower, as everyone could see that, as Neji was pushing harder, as he started delivering multiple strikes to her, making Hinata cough up blood, as she leaped away from him, clutching her stomach and her chest, as she was squinting her Byakugans, as she felt rather weak, and pain was coursing all through her veins. But she looked up at Naruto, as she saw Samantha beside him. Both of them had a worried look on their face. She could not give up, as she got back to her feet, as that made Neji scold even harder, as she was not giving up. Meanwhile, with the spectators, Haku saw how hard he was going on his own cousin. until she heard something grinding. As she then looked for the source of the noise, as she turned to see, it was a railing that Naruto was holding onto. As Haku was rather shocked, as Naruto was bending the railing, as he was holding onto it so tight, not intentionally, just because he was angry at what Neji was doing. It was bending. As she could also see Samantha was reaching her limit. As the onslaught continued, as Hinata was left wide open for the attack, as Neji got into a serious pose. "You're in my field," he said. As Hinata looked at him, as her father's words flashed through her mind to use a barricade seal to subdue him. But it didn't matter, she would do no such thing. She wouldn't do that. She was going to change the Hyuga ways after all. She didn't want to hurt him. But Neji didn't care as he struck her with his 64 palms. As Hinata screamed out in pain. As he delivered a roundhouse kick to finish it off. She smashed into the wall with so much force. Back on the stands, Samantha started to walk off, but Naruto grabbed her wrist. "Let me go," she said. "If we don't stop this, that bastard is gonna kill her." "You can't intervene in their fight," Naruto said, in a rather low tone, as his eyes were not being shown, as he was looking down. "Naruto, Hinata is our friend. Do you want her to die? We have to save her." "You cannot intervene," Naruto said. Samantha looked at his hand as she tried to get free, but his grip was like iron. She could not. As she felt his hand was also trembling. As she wondered, this must be affecting him as well. He was rather close to Hinata. They were good friends after all. After 64 palms, Hinata got up. Blood was gushing from her nose and her mouth, but she still didn't waver. As Neji was surprised, "Why won't you give up?" he said. "Because I told you, I can't fail the people that believe in me. One day you will come to see, Neji. Perhaps I'll change you too." As Neji got pissed. "Still not accepting your fate," he said. "Alright then. Don't blame me for what's gonna happen," he said as he leapt forward, attempting to kill her. Kushina's eyes narrowed as she noticed Naruto release Samantha. She saw the other Jonins as they were about to step in now, but that wasn't the problem, it was Naruto. Before Neji could get to Hinata, the other Jonin stepped in and grabbed him. Kurenai, the proctor, Kakashi, Guy, all of them stopped him. But that wasn't the thing that everyone was looking at. As Haku was shocked, as the railing that Naruto was holding on, it was ripped apart from him squeezing it too hard, but Naruto was no longer there. As Neji glanced to his side, right in front of him was a fist that was threatening to take off his head, but it was being restrained. As Naruto was stuck in mid-air with chains wrapped all around him. Chains from Kushina, as she just stopped him from doing something terrible. Because if that fist had hit Neji, it would have probably taken off his head. As Hinata then collapsed over as Kurenai rushed towards her. Neji glanced at Naruto. To say that he wasn't scared, that was a lie, because he could feel the amount of pressure come from the fist from just the breeze that came off of it. And it didn't even touch him. But he was surprised, when did he even get here? He didn't even feel his presence coming towards him. He should have seen him, he should have felt it. As he saw bloody murder in Naruto's eye, as Naruto was being restrained by Kushina's chain, as she pulled him back up to the stance. "Naruto, calm down," said Kushina, as Naruto was trying to pry the chains off of him, until Kushina grabbed him, as she pulled him into a hug. As Naruto was trembling, as it was from pure rage, as he wanted to go down there and make Neji pay for what he did. As Haku came over and told him to calm down as well. As everyone was watching the scene, surprised, because none of the kids saw when he moved, none of them. The Jonin saw it though, but for a kid at his age to be that fast. Minato then appeared beside Naruto, as he placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder, and the both of them vanished. Hinata was then taken to the infirmary, as Kurenai and Samantha went along as well. As Kiba was up in the stands, Kiba clenched his fist. "That bastard should pay for what he did to sweet Hinata," he said. "She never even hurt anyone." "Yes, something like that. It's quite despicable," said Neji, as everyone believed that he took it too far. as Hinata was a kind, gentle girl that never talked back or cursed at anyone or even do anything bad. But for him to willing to go to the point to try to kill her, as they could all see Naruto's actions, as Neji could feel all the glares and stares coming towards him. He then felt a strange look at him, as he turned to see Gaara with a strange smile on his face, as Gaara rather enjoyed that show, to show such ruefulness, and not caring about your opponent. That is what he loved to see. Temari looked at her brother. She got creeped out. Her brother was always scary, as she just took a step away from him. When Neji came back up to the stands, no one said anything to him, not even Lee, because he saw that quite unyouthful, as everyone wondered what's going to happen now, as they waited for the proctor. As, after a good minute or two, the proctor then pointed towards the board. Seemed like things were going to go on as usual, as the names started to spin again. The next match that happened was Naruto versus Rock Lee, but Naruto was gone with his father, as everyone wondered what's going to happen. The proctor looked over at Kushina, but before she could react or even say anything, Minato reappeared with Naruto, who was much calmer. "Is everything okay?" asked Kushina. "It's gonna be now," said Minato. "Hey Naruto," said Sasuke, as Naruto turned towards him. "You're next." As Naruto saw his name, versus Rock Lee. As Naruto walked off without saying anything. "Good luck," said Kushina, Haku, and Samantha. But Naruto wasn't talking, as he had to pass by Neji and his group to get down to the arena. As Naruto walked straight over there, Kushina stepped forward because she thought that something might happen, as everyone was cautious. "Don't worry," said Minato, as he placed a hand on her shoulder. "Everything will be fine." Lee made his way down to the arena because he wanted to enjoy a good fight, and most of all to fight the youthful Naruto. This will surely push him to his limit, and it's time for him to see who's the best. Guy looked at Naruto as he wondered what is going to happen if he has to step in. Naruto stopped as Neji was a few feet away from him. As Naruto turned his gaze towards Neji, his cold, unblinking gaze, he then stepped forward as Neji stood there firm. He narrowed his eyes at Naruto, preparing for anything. But he wouldn't go all of his way out to attack me here, Neji thought. Even if he's a Hokage's son, that can lead to him getting kicked out of the exam. Surely he wouldn't do something as stupid as that. "If it wasn't for this arena, I would drag your ass down there and beat the crap out of you," said Naruto, "for what you did to Hinata. But if I do that, I'll probably be disqualified," Naruto said. "But don't worry, it seems like you're going to the finals." "Oh, I'm facing your teammate Rock Lee. And trust me, when I win, we will meet in the finals. And for all you did to Hinata today, I'm going to repay it 100 folds. No holding back, no hesitation. I don't want to hear your life story and all that crap. For what you did to Hinata, that was unthinkable. To someone like her, who was never hurt a single person, she was willing to let herself get beat up and cursed at. She was willing to let herself get hated by her own father just because she didn't want to hurt her own sister. But you have the balls to hurt her like that. So Neji, if we meet in the finals, don't worry, Naruto said, I'm not going to kill you. But I'm going to make sure you understand what true pain is. And I'm not going to stop until you're on the ground, writhing in pain and agony and broken. Through all of that, Neji didn't say a word, as Naruto was whispering so most of them couldn't hear him. As he then walked off, as he walked down to the arena, as the area was really tense, as Naruto walked past Gaara's group, Gaara with that sick twisted smile on his face, as he loved to see battles like these, revenge, fight for revenge for hate, as it just brought him more pleasure. As Naruto walked past the two remaining Cloud Ninjas, as he walked past Yujito, she did not say anything, but to Yujito's surprise, Samui placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. As Naruto stopped, as he glanced at her, she then leaned forward as she whispered something into his ear. As Yujito was shocked, what would Samui have to say to him? As everyone wondered what the hell is going on, she then released him as he walked off. What the hell was that? Asked Yujito. Samui simply shrugged. You aren't going to tell me, Yujito asked. It was nothing, Samui said. Just let it go, okay? As Yujito looked at her, wondering what the hell could be happening. When Naruto got down to the arena, his face changed quickly as a smile came on his face. Hello, Lee, Naruto said. Ah, Naruto-san, Lee said. It's finally time that we test our youthful spirit against each other. I have to say I've been waiting for this for a long time. Guy Sensei told me that you were probably the strongest genin when you graduated. Well, not probably, you were. And I want to see if my youthful training has been coming along well. And let me guess, said Naruto. For you to do that, you have to defeat me. As Lee nodded with a smile. As Naruto smiled back. So well then, Lee, I guess I have to go all out, not hold back on you. I will appreciate that a lot, Lee said. The proctor asked him if they were ready, as the both of them nodded. As the match began, the both of them thrust at each other as they slammed their fists together in the center, as it created a small shock wave, not anything too massive or anything too strong. The both of them then leapt back, as Naruto did smile on his face same way, as Lee was also smiling as well, ear to ear, as his fight is going to be truly magnificent. Lee then launched forward at Naruto with a kick. As he was coming towards the side of Naruto's head, Naruto brought up his hand as he blocked the kick, but he was pushed back a bit. Sasuke narrowed his eyes. That Lee guy is really strong, he said. Yeah, said Samantha. Well, it seems like he only focused on physical, remember what we were told. He doesn't use ninjutsu. Well, he can't really. So that means he has the strength and the speed. I wonder if Naruto is gonna win. Are you crazy? Haku said. As the both of them turned. Of course Naruto is gonna win. I suppose you're right, Samantha said. This is a ninja world. Unpredictable things happen, said Sasuke. Huh. When did you become the wise sage? Asked Kushina. As Sasuke blushed in embarrassment of being called out. Well, it's... As she chuckled, she ruffled his head. It's alright, Sasuke, she said. But you're right, this is a ninja world. Unpredictable things does happen. But let's just see what will happen. Meanwhile that was going on, Jiraiya walked up towards Minato with a distraught look on his face. As Minato noticed that, what's wrong? He asked. It's nothing, Jiraiya said. Huh, you look worried. The only time I see you look worried like this is where you cannot go a place to do your research, or something happened to your books. Well, it's just strange. Did we have a representative from the Rain? He asked. Yes, Minato said. Just one team though. Yeah, that's it. They're Jonin Sensei. It was this blue-haired woman. Don't tell me you hit on her and she rejected you. That's why you're sad, asked Minato. No, it's nothing like that. Remember I told you about then with that strange kid? With those eyes. You mean those legendary eyes? Yeah. There was also this girl with them. And I trained her as well. And it's just strange. She looked exactly like her, but just grown up now. But I thought you say they died in the war. Yeah, that's the strange thing about it. But I don't really know, said Jiraiya. He then changed the subject. So how is the kid coming along? Well, he just started his match. Back down in the arena, Naruto jumped away from Lee. I have to say, Lee, at this speed, you're faster than me. Well, I can tell as well that you're holding back a lot, Naruto-san. So what do you say? Stop doing that, Lee said. Alright then, Lee, Naruto said. How about we push it up a notch? In the blink of an eye, Naruto vanished. He appeared above Lee with a right hook, coming down towards Lee's face. Lee smirked as he grabbed Naruto's wrist and spun Naruto around. He released Naruto, but Naruto landed on the wall, sideways. As he pushed off the wall, it cracked off the force. As Naruto came up on Lee with a spinning kick, Lee brought up both of his hands, but he was sent flying back. He then came to a stop, as he felt a bit of sting. Before he knew it, Naruto blurred away again. Naruto then appeared behind him and delivered a powerful strike to his back, sending Lee flying forward. Naruto then appeared below him and delivered an uppercut under his chin that knocked him up in the air. As Naruto then appeared right in front of him, he thrust his fist forward, but Lee pushed off in mid-air, flipping back down to the ground as he jumped away. As he landed on the statue's finger, he looked over at Guy. As Guy nodded to Lee. Do it, Lee. Do what? Sakura said. As The group watched as Lee took off his weights. "What's a bunch of weights gonna do?" said Temari. As Guy chuckled. As Kakashi narrowed his eyes. Wait. As Lee released the weights, a massive boom went off. "Guy, you really are crazy," said Kakashi, "giving your student that amount of weights." Even Naruto was shocked in the arena. "So much weights," he said. "Now I can understand why Guy is the best taijutsu user. I guess he's really pushing you that hardly." But no surprise, you seem to enjoy it. "Prepare yourself, Naruto-san," Lee said. "I'm ready, Lee," Naruto said. As Lee blinked away, surprising Naruto by his newfound speed. Lee appeared behind Naruto. As Naruto spun around, but Lee was already gone. Lee then appeared behind him again and swung a fist. But he didn't swing to hit Naruto as he blinked away again. "What the hell?" Naruto said. As Lee then appeared under him and delivered a powerful kick under Naruto's chin that sent Naruto sailing straight up in the sky. Lee then appeared behind him and drove his leg down as he delivered a powerful kick in Naruto's back as Naruto was sent spiraling down into the ground as he hit it with great force as smoke and dust covered the entire place. Lee then landed as he saw Naruto lying there. As Lee walked over, "I guess it's..." But before he could finish that sentence, the entire ground exploded with a wave of fire washing out towards Lee. Lee had to flip away as the real Naruto came from underground. He leaped up in the sky as he went through hand sign. "Wind style, wind torrent," he said, as he thrusted a wind torrent towards Lee. Lee flipped out of the way as the wind torrent slammed into the wall, damaging it greatly as it started to crack under the force. As everyone was watching was wondering if these people were really Genins. As Yujito was still wondering what did Samui say to Naruto, and at the same time wondering how strong is he, because this was not an ordinary Genin fight. Back in the arena, Lee was assaulted by all sorts of jutsus. Naruto landed on the ground. As he slammed his hand downwards, 4 stone pillars came from the ground. As they all rushed at Lee, Lee started dodge and evade all of them until the ground started to shake under him as massive stone spikes erupted from the ground. As Lee was dodging, he did not notice Naruto in mid-air as Naruto went through hand sign in mid-air, lightning style. Booming shock. As Naruto released a wave of electricity, it was a dull wave, but it surrounded the entire area, so Lee couldn't escape it. As it smashed right into Lee, Lee cried out in pain as he felt his body being electrified. He collapsed to the ground as he was huffing badly. At this level, he could not get past all of Naruto's jutsus. Lee then watched Naruto land with a smirk on his face. "So I guess that is it, Lee." As Lee picked up himself slowly. "Sorry, Guy Sensei, but in order to see if I am truly good, I must push myself," he said as he placed his arm in the X motion. "Guy, did you really?" said Kakashi as Guy looked down. This was really taxing on Lee's body. He really hoped that Lee hadn't done this, but it seemed like there was no other way. As everyone watched as Lee's body started to get erupted by a green force of energy. "Whoa, where were you hiding this?" Naruto said, as Lee wasn't saying anything, as he opened the first gate, as Kushina watched in shock. "Guy, you really teach your student that?" "Hey, what's going on? What is that?" asked Sakura, as she saw everyone looking strange at the ability. "That is the gate of opening," said Guy, "to allow someone to increase their physical strength and speed." "But," said Kushina, "it also have a cost." "Yes, it does," Guy said, as they watched as Lee opened to the 5th gate, as Naruto stepped back because of the pressure that was leaking from Lee. As he could feel more power swirling around Lee, he could not lose here because he had to fight Neji in the finals to make him pay for what he did to Hinata. As Naruto looked at Lee with his 3-totem Sharingan, Lee then blurred out of existence. It was like he was there one moment and then he wasn't. Naruto then saw a fist came towards his face, but it then vanished. As Naruto wondered if he was seeing correctly, as Lee was appearing around him in circles. As Naruto could now see Lee, but he was moving at incredible speed. Naruto could barely keep up. Before Naruto could do anything, Lee delivered a powerful strike to Naruto's stomach. As Naruto coughed up blood instantly, the wind, everything was knocked out of him. Kushina gasped in shock as her baby boy was slammed into the wall so brutally, the wall exploded behind him. Before Naruto could pick himself up though, Lee appeared in front of him and grabbed his arm. Lee twists Naruto around and throw him up into the air. Lee then appeared behind Naruto as he delivers several strikes into Naruto's back. Naruto winced out in pain as Lee brought his hand down in a drop as he slammed it into Naruto's back. Naruto was sent spiraling this time, hitting the ground with so much force his body bounced off of it. As Minato watched in shock, also Jiraiya, to see a genie like this has something like this up his sleeve. Guy was really pushing these kids to an extraordinary level. Huh, it looks like the kid is going to lose, Jiraiya said. Don't count Naruto out just yet, said Minato, as he knew that Naruto had a trick up his sleeve, not the Mangekyou, because he told Naruto not to use it, until he teach him a few things about it first, and told him the risk. As Naruto picked himself off the ground, Lee was standing there. It's best if you give up now, Naruto-san. I don't want to hurt you anymore, Lee said, as he was huffing a bit. Naruto got up, his clothes was torn and tattered, his shirt mostly, as he had a few cuts on his arms here and there, but they were healing slowly. Naruto grabbed onto the front of his shirt as he ripped it off. He then started to apply chakra to his body. As everyone watched, what is he doing? As strange markings appear on Naruto's chest. It was 3 rings. A small one in the center, a larger one around that, and a larger one around that. Naruto then slammed his hand together. Release, he said. The first one broke, and then did the second one, and then the third one, as a wave of chakra washed out of Naruto's body. Sasuke looked at Kushina. What's that, he said. It's a sealing method of sealing away your chakra, storing it up, so when you need it at a certain point you can replenish yourself, she said. When did he put that on? Asked Samantha. Oh, in the days while he was here at the tower, she said. With a newfound chakra in him, Naruto sent all of it towards his hands and his feet, as his eyes started to spin widely. So what do you say, Lee? It's time for round 2. But guys, that'll be any episode right here. If you want to see the next part, if you already know what to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notifications to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in your social media platform, and stay in tune for the rest of the what ifs coming your way. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. So yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.